2, 1. All right. We are live once again talking about the Braves, who are probably right now, as this video is being released, either taking on the Texas Rangers or about to take on the Texas Rangers. Big series coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday, by the way, is Sunday Night Baseball, ESPN. So if you have YouTube TV, you can actually watch the Braves. Or if you have Dish or DirecTV or all the other cable providers except Xfinity, you can watch the Braves on live TV. So congratulations to everybody because Bali sucks. Here's to you. All right. So the Braves this week beat the Marlins. Well, I guess not this week, but this past weekend and then this week, they didn't sweep the Marlins, but they won
2 out of 3, right?
1, 2 out of 3, and then swept the Astros. Let's just do a quick rundown of the series. Series? How do you say series plural? Series?
That sounds good to me.
Series.
If there's any English professors out there that's watching this, just hit us up in the comments.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. But anyway, so let's talk about it real quick. Marlins, the Braves should have lost that series if it wasn't for Marcell Ozuna, which I know we're going to talk about here in a minute. The Braves would have lost the series, and that would have been kind of embarrassing given the fact that it's the Marlins who've only won.
And coming off of the Mets the series loss too,
well,
right?
Well, a tie or loss depending on what we do in September.
Right.
Yeah, stupid baseball. So pitching, I thought starting pitching in that series was pretty good. I thought. But again, I think right now the story of the Braves is because usually last year it was the Braves scoring early in the game, like just going on an explosion. Lately, and so far in this season, it's been the Braves scoring late innings, 7th, 8th, 9th inning, and just exploding on guys. So, it was good to see my boy, my favorite player on the Braves, Marcell Ozuna, starting this hot streak and save the Braves a win of a series. And then Houston, again, the story of that was just late inning success. I mean, every game
out at bats.
Yeah, every game in that series came down to the 8th, the 7th, and then what was the 8th inning yesterday. So overall I'm pretty, for right now, pleased with the Braves. I think they have the best record in baseball. I don't know how you couldn't be pleased with them. But let's give me your initial thoughts and tell me how great Ozuna is.
I think the Braves are going to be just fine. The good thing about it is this team is not. I guess you could say this about any team, but this team is not the team that we're probably going to see in September or October. You got Murphy down, you got Ozzie down. I think the starting rotation, since Strider went down, is still a work in progress. I am concerned. I'm not worried. I'm just concerned. It's going to be interesting to see who nails down that 5th spot in the rotation. I thought Vines equipped himself really well, and he's a different type of pitcher in a lot of ways. That he's more like an Elder, right?
He has a little bit more speed. He has a little bit more speed. I think he has more speed than Elder.
Okay, but he throws a lot of off-speed stuff, right?
Right.
And he's nibble around the edges. But I thought he looked really good. Obviously, it's a breath of fresh air compared to what we've seen out of Ozuna last couple of years, because he's had cold starts. This year, he's come out of the gate, pun intended, swinging for the fences. And he's the type of guy, dude. He won the Silver Slugger Award. He can carry a team for a while. If he gets on a hot streak, he absolutely can. I just hope he doesn't cool off in September and October. But so far, so good. I tell you, I made the comment to you the other day. At the time, Dansby was a fine player. I appreciated his defense and I appreciated his power. But I would so much rather have Orlando Arcia come up to bat in a crutch situation. I think he's got a great arm. I think I don't think he's as good defensively as Dansby, but I also think that's debatable. But offensively, he's a much more consistent hitter than Dansby was. So I really am pleasantly surprised with Arcia. The other guy that's always been my favorite guy, Travis d'Arnaud. He's pulling yeoman's duty right now since Murphy's down. And that other guy, Trump, coming up. You just want a competent guy in this situation. If you're playing a backup catcher, you want a guy that can call a good game and be good defensively, and whatever you get out of the bat is sort of icing on the cake. And the guy came through a couple of times over the weekend series. So overall, I think Atlanta's just fine. I still remain a little worried about the starting rotation because we got a lot of, you got a lot of people who are, I'm going to call them fragile, right? I mean, Max Fried has been health issues for one way or one reason or another. You've got Charlie Morton, who's now 40, right? Isn't that right? Didn't he just
41? Yeah, he's 40 or 41, yeah.
And then Sell, who's also not a young guy anymore.
No, he's in his mid-30s now.
So you worry about those things because 162 games is a long time, man. So, and I can tell you from somebody who represents a older demographic, shit stops working the way it's supposed to. So you hope they just don't get hurt or fall off the cliff.
I've been pleasantly surprised with Vines. I thought, honestly, whenever I saw him, what was that? Was it Houston? Was it Miami? No, it was. I guess it was Houston because that was his first start, right?
Yeah.
I chalked that up to wow, here we go. This is probably just going to be an early bullpen game. Probably Braves are going to lose the first one out of the gate here. I didn't know that Houston had a guy from AAA either, so that shows how much I know about baseball. But I mean, dude, he pitched really well and pitched a good He pitched 7 innings.
Did he go that deep?
Yeah, I think he did, and it was like he only had like 80 pitches. So
I know it was real efficient.
Yeah, he's just efficient, and whenever that slider is nasty. And he's getting another shot. I think Sunday night he's going to get the start. So
that's what I'm going to be interested in seeing. He equipped himself well. He had a good start. If he can put a couple more of these down.
Well, he'll win the fifth spot.
I think he's going to have the 5th spot. I really do.
And honestly, I think Ian Anderson, whenever he comes back, and he's going to have to go and do rehab and stints down in the farm system. So probably AAA and Gwinnett. But Elder's still in AAA. I honestly, I think they're keeping him down just in case that there is another injury with Morton. If Morton needs an extra day's rest and miss a start, if Sell goes down, if Fried goes down, I think they're keeping Elder back just so if there's another
starter.
Yeah, just as a break glass in case of emergency type deal. I really do.
They're probably going to need a couple of those guys, and we also still have Yona. And how do you say it? Is that
Huskier Yona?
Yeah. So we still have them, and I think those guys are going to be really important before the end of this year. Is either to give these guys a break, or to give them a little extra rest, these older guys, or heaven forbid if they get injured where they're going to be down for a while, we're going to have to depend on that depth in AAA. To kind of see us through that. Yeah,
totally. So I don't know where I want to go. Acuna, I'll just do this. Acuna got his first home run. Glad to see him finally get a home run. He's been waiting on it, and he finally got it. And he's starting to finally look like the player that we saw last year. I think I don't know why he started off slow. I know I said it. I don't know if it was the last week or the week before where I was kind of concerned about that. Strikeout rate was a little high. That's the first high analytic that I'm going to use. Where are you about to say?
No, I was just going to say, I think it's been out, but I think pitchers have done a really good job early on in the year. The way you control Acuna,
High and inside.
high and inside, and brush his ass off the plate so he can't lean out over the plate. And I think pitchers have done a really good job. And I think you're seeing him starting to adjust to that, which a good major league, he'll get his. I mean, he's still batting 286 for goodness sake.
Yeah, but him. And here's the thing: he's getting on base and he's getting steals. So, but the difference between Acuna last year and then Acuna this year was that home run rate. And if we can get that type of production out of him, the Braves offense is just going to be a machine. It's just going to keep plowing ahead. So that was only my concern. I knew he was going to get one. Hopefully he gets a lot more coming up, and I hope he hits like 50 instead of 40 this year.
He'll get hot and rattle off quite a few.
Yeah, plus also like the weather's starting to get hot now. It's starting to get warmer. The ball's going to be a little bit looser to hit. So hope that, again, another analytic that I use. This isn't a high analytics podcast. So I think Acuna is going to be fine. I wanted to touch on the bullpen real quick because the bullpen has been exceptional. How do you say his name? It's Joe. It's not Jimenez. It's
Jimenez.
Jimenez.
Yeah.
I see his
J
name.
is silent.
Yeah, I always want to say Jimenez. But Jimenez, he's been solid. Minter was nails. Masick, good. Iglesias, oh fuck, who cares? I can't pronounce these Spanish names all the time. He's been really Rysel, I can do that one. Rysel's been really good. The only Jesse Chavez, I mean, what more can be said about him?
Pierce Johnson's come in. He's been putting some.
Well, that's what Pierce Johnson's been okay.
Yeah.
Bummer, who we traded some to get, has not been good, and it hasn't really been talked about. But he lost the game for the Braves against the Mets.
That's the game you were at, right?
Yeah, he almost cost the Braves again in Houston. I guess that was.
Who did we trade to get him?
We traded Soroka and a couple other guys. I know.
Okay. Well, I agree. He hasn't been spectacular.
He hasn't been spectacular, but the bullpen overall has been. I mean, it's probably the best bullpen in baseball right now. If you can point me one that's better, I'll tip your cap. But I think the Braves bullpen has been probably the best so far.
And by the way, this is a Braves podcast, but it's really easy to see after watching Houston. They are no longer. Now that I guess it could change, but they're no longer the team to beat in the American League. Would you agree? I mean, I just don't think their talent is where it's been.
No, I don't think their talent is there where it was even last year or the years that they went to all the World Series. But I also think there's been a lot of injuries. Abreu, the first baseman, hasn't been the way he is. But yeah, I think the team to beat in the AL, we're about to play them this weekend.
The Rangers.
I mean, they won the World Series. And they have arguably probably the best manager in the 21st century with Bruce Bochy. So, but the Rangers have not gotten to a start that they like. They've dropped a lot of games.
I'll have to I'm not, the American League, and that's one of the things that we complain a lot about Major League Baseball. But since we've gotten rid of or added the DH in both leagues, I think there should be more interleague play. I think.
Well, I mean, there is. That's why they balance the schedule.
I don't know. Years past, I couldn't tell you all that much until you got close to end of the season. I started paying a little bit more attention to the American League.
Right.
But I think now, because we play more series against the American League teams, it's going to give me more of an idea of that division.
Yeah, I don't. Here's the thing about these balance schedules, since we're talking about it. it makes more sense to me to play more series with the teams that are in your division. I like what you'd usually play teams in your division 18 times. Is that right? 18
I don't
games.
know. I don't know. I don't. I'll maybe. I don't know. Maybe I could be persuaded. I don't have a strong, but I get tired of seeing the friggin' Marlins and the Nationals and the Met. I would
Those
much
are
rather.
baked, but playing the Marlins and that those are baked in wins right now. So I'll take as many as I can get because if you go and look down at the Braves schedule, you go, "Oh wow, that's a tough series. Oh wow, that's a tough series." And then you get to the Nationals, you go, "Oh well, all right, well we got that one in the bag."
I I don't. It's funny. I've always found that just like the Mets coming in and playing Atlanta, you take a team that sucks. They still got major league players on the
Well, for
team,
sure.
and they can beat you. They can beat you. They can sweep you. So I don't. I don't know. I don't put a whole lot of stock in the boys. I think you can have tough road trips, and I think it's really
Sure.
was really important that the Braves had a very strong road trip early on in the season, like they did.
Well, I think that Miami showed that that was a hard road trip. I mean, obviously the home field advantage is not of Truist Park, but it's a different and there's not a whole lot of people there, but they actually had a decent crowd
Mainly
too.
Braves,
Huh?
mainly Braves fans.
Well, yeah, I know. So it's a little difficult to play in that. I would say probably Miami and Tampa are two of the hardest places to
Leo
play.
Mazzoni, and he used to be on local 680 The Fan in the morning show, and he always said Florida's the playing the Marlins is one of the more difficult like places to go play because of exactly that reason. It echoes in there. There's nobody in the stand. It just feels weird, and it's a
Yeah.
really tough place to go and play. So I agree with you. I think that's um, and what they do. Would they go 4-2 on the road trip? Is that right?
No, four and no, three,
No, they
four,
swept. That's
five
right.
and
Three,
one,
five,
5 and 1.
5-1. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. We touched on it briefly. Ozzy's out. Guillermo was whatever his last name. What's his last name?
Oh, I don't know. I
Number
bet.
15, fat boy with a beard.
Yeah.
Guillermo. That's what I remember. I shouldn't be talking about white, but whatever. I thought, yeah, I mean, he's a serviceable utility guy. He did pretty good at shortstop. Obviously, he's going to play at least 10 games as the second baseman. Well, it sucks because Ozzy was doing, I mean, Ozzy was one of the better hitters
Yeah.
right now on the Braves lineup. So it sucks that, and he's, I love Ozzy Albies. In all honesty, everyone talks about Acuna, and I know I joke about Ozuna, but Ozzy to me is probably my favorite player. Um, and I think that's because he came up before Acuna, and he was the only shining hope that we had during those really bad rebuild years. So I always will be more emotionally attached to Ozzy, and he also has a great name. He is a streaky hitter, so
Yes.
I'm a little worried about that. And like he could be out. I googled. I became a Google doctor whenever it said it. It was a grand fracture, by the way. That's what it's called. Um, which I guess is the big bone in your big toe. I don't know. But that can be 4 to 6 weeks.
Really.
Yeah.
I know
So
usually with a broken toe, they tell you there's no more damage. It just becomes a pain tolerance thing. And I'm not saying he should be out there playing, 9 innings of baseball and
yeah,
risk
no.
getting hit on the toe again. But
Yeah, I
I,
don't know why. So I know they put them on the 10 day, and now we're 9 days into this, or we have 9 more days to go. We'll have 8 Thursday. Or Friday. We're recording this on Thursday. Um, I don't know how much longer he's going to be out, and I do kind of worry about that. I Michael Harris played okay in that second spot. I know it was only one game, so you can't really take a whole lot out of it. But what? He only got like one hit.
Michael Harris.
Yeah, the 2-hole.
I don't know. He'll be fine too. I
worry
see.
about a guy. Oh, sorry. I just worry about a guy going from the bottom of the lineup to the top of the lineup like that. But I guess that's just me. I don't know.
Well, I think we talked about it. The bottom half of this lineup for the Braves is what makes it so difficult, right?
Right.
And it just keeps the line going, and they've got a lot of production. He'll be fine, and I think Atlanta's offense will be fine until Ozzie comes back. But yeah, I would much rather have Ozzie in there than Guillermo or whatever his name is. But there's enough players offensively on the Braves that can hurt you. I'm more worried about our pitching staff long term than I am. Ozzie will be back, and I think it'll be fine. That other guy that we got, that Guillermo, he's a good guy to have in the playoffs. I think one of the things that I would like to see, if Atlanta looks like they're going to be getting into the playoffs, I really would hope that Snicker starts giving some of our guys days off and
he's just going to do that.
Well, that's what I really hope for, because I do think that was one of the biggest. We'll see, but when Atlanta's gotten to the playoffs and they've kind of faltered, I believe a lot of that is, hell, we're playing guys 160 games out of 162, and it's not just one or two; it's a lot.
Yeah.
So, I'm okay early on in the season if we can get them back healthy, Murphy and Ozzie. I'm okay with missing them for a couple of weeks. I don't know how long it's going to be, but that's the other thing. That ab, whatever that thing is that Murphy has, that takes forever to heal.
Yeah, the oblique.
The oblique, yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, let's close this out. So the Braves have Sell, Morton, Vines pitching against the Rangers. Let's see who the Rangers have pitching. I don't know. Henny, I don't know anything about him. Navaldi, pretty good. Evaldi and Charlie Morton might have been teammates, maybe. I don't know. And then Lorenzen, who I don't know anything about either. He's only pitched 5 innings, so against Vines. So, and then the Braves have a 9-game homestand here against.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Rangers, Marlins, and then we play the Indians, RIP, Guardians now.
Okay.
So, we'll see at the end of this homestand where the Braves sit.
They can go 6-3, 5-4. I'd hope for a little better than 5-4, but if they can go 5-4 on this homestand, they'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Hopefully, start getting some guys back healthy.
Yeah, and they have this long homestand, and then they have a West Coast trip with Seattle and Los Angeles. So
that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we'll see we'll see where we stand after this. We'll probably record sometime. Probably after we play the Marlins, which, by the way, we should probably look into getting tickets. I bet they're cheap.
All right.
Anyway, that's an off-air conversation, obviously. Unless the proud viewers want to pay for me to go to a game, that'd be great. I would appreciate it. Delta Sky Lounge would be great if anyone could get tickets. I don't want to talk to you, though, if I have to sit with you. All right. So check out Terminus Sports, ATL.com. It's on WordPress. It's a blog. I've been updating it. I wrote a blog yesterday, basically what we're talking about with the Braves. Have Georgia stuff. So if you're not a Georgia fan, sorry, just have to scroll past that and just get to the Brave stuff. Check out Twitter. Or X, we are Terminus Sports _ATL. This channel, like and subscribe. Hit the like button. Do whatever you got to do. Comment. There's been a lot of people watching these, so we appreciate it. And also, angry New York Mets fans have been in the comments, and I've read them. And
really?
Yeah. Somehow we've reached up to the Mets, so. I don't know. Well, here's the thing. You have to look up Atlanta Braves in the YouTube algorithm for us to pop up. So the Mets fans are looking up the Braves and seeing it. So
that's pretty bad, man.
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
I can be honest with you. I'm a Georgia fan. I don't go and look up Tennessee balls. I can promise you that.
No, I don't know.
Or Alabama.
or Alabama, Auburn. I don't really have any interest in what y'all have to say.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah. So shout out all the Mets fans that are watching. There's at least more than like 2 that have commented that are Mets fans. So appreciate y'all. I know you're having a tough season. Frank the Tank, Frank was right. So check that out. All the stuff that I just mentioned. For your shipping needs, go to Unishippers Atlanta and ask for
Marcus Gore.
Ask for Marcus. All right. Well, we'll see you probably after the the Ranger series. So we'll probably put a video up before we play the Marlins. All right. See you on the other side.